Chicks on your APs, looking like weeds. Haven't seen.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the 1 a.m. pod. This is Rashad Milligan, of course, joined by my co-host RB Mo and Jelani Knows, man. Jelani, RB Mo, how you boys feel? Sweet.
Life is beautiful.
Man, life is good, man. I can't complain.
No, I feel it. So, as you guys see, I got on the Layla shirt, for those on my channel. You guys know that I've already worn this shirt right after the concert, reviewing the concert. And I'm wearing it because this was probably the last chance that I'll have to wear the shirt because I'm giving it to my little cousin, everything like that. I told her I was going to the concert. I was leaving a family event on Saturday, and she was like, "Oh, I want to go." And I was like, "They're sold out. Ain't nothing I can do about it." So just to at least make up a little bit of it, I'll give her this T-shirt.
You should have took it back to the essence and just like screen printed the T-shirt on a white tee and just pulled the picture up off Google Images. You know what I mean?
And been like, "Here you go, cuz, love you."
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't know the difference.
They wouldn't. But that's a sick move, bro.
Very, very, very sick. Very nasty.
She signed that, didn't she?
She did. Hold on. Let me get back to my thing. Okay, baby. Yeah. It's oh, I'm scooting up to the laptop, like the camera all the way back. It's hold on. Is it this side? No, it's this side. There it is. Hold on. She signed it right there. Layla. Right. This is very difficult to do. Like with the mirroring and stuff like that. But yeah, man, she signed it, Layla, above her face and things of that sort. So shout out to Layla for sure. Jelani was asking me how the show went. The show was good. Like I said, she sounds better in person singing than she does online. And I showed him this video right here of her like singing on her social media. Oh, I'm gonna share it. So obviously extremely talented, playing the piano and singing at the same time, but the vocals a little shaky, you know what I'm saying? and beyond that, I like still enjoyed her music the most in 2024 because she's just so good at everything, like rapping and producing and stuff like that, songwriting, arranging, bridges, breaks, all that stuff. Like she's really good at all that. And but the singing when she would do the covers, I'd be like, oh, I don't know, man. We still getting there. We still getting there. In person, it was on point. I'm not even gonna hold you. The vocals were on point in person live. So like I son Jelani as well. Foggy Raw was in the building. Caribou was in the building. So yeah, Atlanta came out, showed her some love. She said she was on the verge of crying like 2-3 times during the show because they were showing so much love.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
And Jelani, I don't know if you knew this as well, but I was talking to Mo about this. But the day before the show, I did not. The only reason why I know this is because I was I did my show review, the video, and I went to her page to tag her, and the day before she posts this. Hold on, here we go. Taking boyfriend applications.
She got a PDF file for the listeners. She has a PDF file boyfriend application. What are do we? Is there a way that we can click on this so I can see like what the criteria is to be her boyfriend?
Jelani, I'm not even gonna lie to you. If I click on it, it might say you've already filled out this form.
Oh, listen, man, I'm not here to judge you. You feel me? I'm not here to. So like,
hold on. Let me see if I can pull it. There it is. I'm sharing it right now.
Oh, you really filled it out?
This thing? Well, no. This isn't my application. This is an empty one. But this thing is literally like 5 pages, bro.
Oh, these are real questions.
Yeah. It's like your annual salary, your race, ethnicity, your social media. Please have visible pictures of yourself. hype birthday, and then like in the cert it's asking like, what are your dreams and aspirations? Like legit career questions.
I'm trying to figure out if this is like, I think it might be like album promotion, or if she really is just. I mean, it's creative either way. I'm not mad at it.
So, so for like, she had "Not My Problem," right? The big "Not My Problem." That song blew up on the radar when she performed it on the radar. When the song came out, she did when she officially released it. She put a hotline number as the cover art, like 1-800 "Not My Problem." So if you call 1-800 "Not My Problem," it was the song playing. She's like, "Yo, this is Layla. Leave a message after the beat." And then you would just talk like, so you don't, she didn't give you no instructions on what to say. Some people would just sing the song, and then other people would just vent, or other people would just let her know what's going on. She literally listened to all of those tapes, hours and hours of tape, cut it up, and made a "Not My Problem" voicemail edition. And it's just everybody singing the song bar for bar from different voicemails that they left. So this is, I guess, just something that is going to be a part of our brand as an artist, just interacting with the fans like this, going through thousands and hundreds of thousands of fan mail and submissions, and making it a part of her thing.
That's fire.
So this one, for the listeners out there, it's she just posted it, no caption, on Twitter a couple days later, and it said, "What are your hobbies? Warring. What are some of your goals and aspirations? Win war. What is your job or career? Are you in school? If so, what do you study? Warist. What does a typical day look like for you? War. Questions, no pressure. What do you want out of life? Win war." And
That's a crazy lifestyle to live.
Right.
I'm assuming this person definitely has illegal weapons in the crib.
speaking of, how do you
So
guys?
the person,
Do I want to do that transition? I don't know if I want to do that transition. I don't know if I want to do
what?
that transition. Uh, but yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like, buddy, like I don't know. Do you ever fill out things seriously, or like put consideration and thought into things, and then the thing that comes out on top is just something so simple and quirky, and you're like, dang, I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah, definitely been there. I mean, I feel like with this, I don't think she's really looking for a boyfriend, but she probably like, whatever the funniest, but definitely going, end up making it to get her attention, you know?
Facts. Like could have been love.
Right. Exactly. Like, and we were talking about earlier, like realistically, just with the could have been love, everybody, I'm pretty sure every viewer that was watching that was thinking like switcheroo is clearly the best option for this. But I knew by episode like 3 or 4, probably about 3, when he still had Bambi and he still had, what was the old
Meatball.
girl that switched? Yeah,
Meatball.
when those two girls were still there, bro. Especially like when they had the food in the bathroom and all that stuff. How disgusting they were. They said it smelled in there. I was like, oh, he not here. Like this is literally just for views. But I get it though because like some of them other girls were kind of boring, So it's like
Yeah.
I need to keep it where it keeps it entertained, and he did that. It was
Well,
genuinely
the thing that was
entertaining.
surprising was Switcheroo was entertaining. She was fighting. She was like
Yeah,
with it. Every time someone tried her, she bit back. She like had roast for the other girls, and it was like, so not only did she look the best, she was like also matching the energy of the craziest contestants.
facts. Yeah, I rocked with Switcheroo heavy. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I was a fan, especially when she hit Meatball in the mouth and popped her in the lip. Had her, you could tell Meatball was walking around like this. I like, yeah, y'all gonna stop trying her.
But yeah,
But
Jelani, has that ever happened to you where you like gave your thought or effort into something, and then the thing that wins like it might be like an online contest or a scholarship fund or like I don't know anything, right? And then the person that wins is someone that just did something funny and quirky and easy.
I've had that happen with like women before. I've had that happen where like, you know what I mean? You think you come in with like the, you know what I mean? You on your A game, like you got the fresh cut, you know what I mean? You got your good cologne on, the good fit. And then the dude that's not really like, this is mostly in my like teenage years when I'm first figuring out how things work sometimes. The dude that's like not really putting in the most effort, he ends up winning the championship. You know what I mean? So
Man,
sometimes it just be like that. Sometimes you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta chalk that loss up and keep it moving.
you said a word there. I say this because I put a lot of effort into the application. I'm not even gonna hold you because I opened it off the strength of curiosity, the same way that you saw the link and you was like, open it up and let's just see what's going on there. That's what I did. And I said, oh, this is a real thing. And then I was like, and I thought about it and I didn't do it for a day, for the night of. I woke up the next day and I thought about it again. I still had the tab pulled up. And I was like, you know what? Let me just put my name in the hat. You know, when LeBron say, thank you for coming on this ride with me. Here go two. That's exactly how I felt. I said, let me just put my name in the hat. And I went through that thing and I said, oh, this is legit. Like, this is 5 pages. She asked me like life questions and everything like that. I don't know if it's album promotion, bro. If you're asking stuff like, what does it say? What are your hobbies and talents? What are some of your goals and aspirations? What does a typical day look like for you? What do you want out of life? I don't know if you're asking what do you want out of life to promote an album.
What if she
But I
orchestrates?
mean, realistic.
Oh no, go
Oh,
ahead,
go
bro.
ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, I think for the sense of if you want people to really engage with it, though, you could keep it simple, but at the same time, I think the idea of really kind of going in depth with the application makes one gets to where she can know her fans a little bit better because it's probably a genuine curiosity. Probably get some good answers out of that. Like, what do you really want for life? This, that, and the other. But also, it's like, shoot, if I'm gonna lean into it, lean all the way in. It's gonna make the fans really want to engage more with it.
And with her, I think in general, right?
Exactly.
Psychologically, like if you're a man and you filled out this application, I think you're legitimately going to be like more invested in their career moving forward because you're like, I spent X amount of time filling out an application for this woman online. I don't know.
Facts.
I had to unmute myself real quick. Maybe she. Well, Mo, was you done talking? I didn't mean to cut you off if you was talking.
Nah, you good, bro.
Oh, you muted right now. But yeah, I was gonna say, what if she like orchestrating her own, um, like her own reality show? Like, I'm just trying to think of the possibility. You know what I mean? Maybe she's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
her own
yeah.
real world or like something like that with the. Because she's a very pretty girl, but I don't think she really. If she, I don't know. You know, they got like a website where I don't know if it's only for women or if it's for men too, but like where you can literally type in what your exact person is and like, you know, what their, height and their weight range and how much they make and all that. And it'll show you like how many people in the world. Now, obviously it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it'll show you like relatively how many people in the world meet this standard. And I remember women was posting it and it would only be like, yeah, 100 guys on earth meet this standard. Like, it was kind of revealing as far as like what people's standards are. But shout out to her and her boyfriend application. That's a fire idea.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I feel like if you're famous, like, why not leverage it?
Oh, hold on, wait, hold on, Mo. Was you? Okay, I just understood
Facts.
what happened, bro. So I had my laptop muted. So I thought that you was muted when you were talking.
No. He
I'm
said
like,
he said he
I'm
said bet,
like,
bro. You can go. That's what he said.
okay, my bad, bro. I'm like, bro, am I tripping?
Yeah, you good.
For sure.
Nah, you good, bro.
What was you
Hey,
saying,
bro.
bro?
Yeah, your Wi-Fi on point this week. Side note.
Super crisp.
Hey,
Ain't
facts.
no delay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just something I was thinking about because, like, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like, I felt a little bit of anxiousness, like after I turned it in, because it's like, am I gonna get an email back? Like, are they gonna say, "Hey, we received your email. We'll let you know about the further thing"? Is it gonna be like, "Hey, you get an interview now, and now you got to go through this process where you got to meet with the board of trustees"? I don't know. Which is her mom and her
So,
grandma or something, or her sisters.
you got a freestyle for Most Def.
Yeah, I got a
Yo,
freestyle of her.
we really like.
I'm not making any most deaf jokes. Nope.
I was just about to say that. Yo, we really.
This is all a part of
Weird.
the application. Nope. Nothing but respect for Yasin Bey, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very surprised and disappointed that the Alchemist album got pushed back. But like I said, I think Layla had the album of 2024 for sure. In my opinion, Gap Year, it was that good. Jelani, to describe her sound, is really like some Pharrell Neptune stuff for real.
That's very broad because the Neptunes had they went all over the place.
Yeah, but it's I think like Tyler the Creator Neptunes, like
Gotcha.
Tyler the Creator Igor meets
Okay.
Pharrell Neptunes. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Like Igor. Yeah, 100%. Dang, I just came to that realization in real time. That's why I'm like, oh, that was a perfect way to describe it. But yeah, man, it's a great album. And then, but like in the application, they're asking like, what's this last song you listened to? And don't lie, I know if you're lying. And I can only imagine how many dudes in the world said, not my problem. But yeah, I said Anicia. So what?
That's probably automatic termination because it's so cliche.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Facts.
I was thinking like age or like salary range because that's on page 1. I was thinking those are gonna be automatic eliminations.
I'm about to. I'm looking up her Wikipedia.
I'm waiting for the. I'm waiting for her to put out the side dude application. I'll go ahead and fill that one out.
Nah, I can't even. Hey, we might have to table this conversation, brothers. Because I just looked up her Wikipedia. We might have to.
Because her age, she almost 19.
Hey, bro.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So look.
Mo gave me a look.
All right, so look.
I can't do it.
In the app, look, I said, look, the age gap, right? Hold on now. Stay with me now. It's actually I said it's actually more narrow than with Jay-Z and Beyonce. So that's what I said. And it's Jelani.
True.
I'm gonna wait for Jelani to turn his camera back on.
Oh no, I'm back. I just had to wipe my nose real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So where do we start? Okay, that is a point. That is a valid point. Although their relationship started, I feel like 2002 was a different era. It was back when they first started dating. I feel like certain things were more socially acceptable than back now. And for the listeners, obviously, this is just like I don't think my boy was sending her DMs or nothing like this before she tweeted this application.
No. Just to clear it up. No,
he's not actually.
It was. I was all on some just listening to the music.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, for sure.
This is all in. Yeah, exactly. I want to clear that up. Well, on the Jay-Z and Beyonce point, I was actually thinking about that the other day. I just feel like the idea of like older men dating younger women was way more like socially acceptable. I say before like 2015. Even when we was in high school, like we knew girls in high school that had like adult boyfriends or was messing with grown men back then, or at least I knew a couple that were, especially because we lived right by a bunch of colleges,
No, facts.
I think it's definitely the wrong timing for an application like that to be sent by someone like me in the era of Not Like Us. Like this, not the time.
Oh, what you need to wait a couple years?
No, it's just like if this was before Not Like Us, like Jelani said 2015. I think Not Like Us was like line drawn in the sand where like we started not only looking at like, you know what I'm saying, minors, but like 18 and 19 year in 21 and 22. Like you could be 22 or 23 and like we still looking at you like that's kind of crazy. If you like Drake's age, Drake is what 38. If Drake is with a 23-year-old, people looking at Drake like, it's kind of crazy, Drake. It
Man,
wasn't
people don't really
necessarily.
care about that.
They did.
Like they don't
Yeah,
care. They
I
care
think they
about it
do.
for Drake. They care about it for Drake. I mean, the general sense
And
though,
real
they don't really
Boston
care
Richie,
about it.
real Boston Richie.
What? Now that his girl sitting here filing a lawsuit against him.
Yeah, but they
But I guess
been on
maybe
his back about that.
true. Okay, I've never been tapped into it. I only heard about it once all that happened.
Yeah, no, I feel like they be on people's head. Jerry Seinfeld, they be getting on him. Uh, Leonardo DiCaprio, excuse me. Of course, they get on him all the time.
But
So
the thing about like you brought up Jerry Seinfeld, like that's back to the point that I was making. Like in the '90s, in real time when it happened, when he really had a teenage girlfriend, like this was still around the time when like Seinfeld was still on the air or like just about to go off the air, like around that time. Like it wasn't nobody was canceling Jerry Seinfeld back then, or like, and I'm not saying that obviously a 38-year-old shouldn't be dating no 17-year-old. Like that was pretty weird, but at the time, within the context of what culture was it, back then, it wasn't like a cancelable offense. I really feel like what I don't really want to talk about the Me Too movement or anything like that, but I do feel like it wasn't really till like I would say like 2017, 2018 around then when I feel like certain stuff started to be like, yeah, we can't, you know what I mean? This ain't cool no more.
I'm
Y'all
not
remember the
gonna lie.
slut walk?
Go, yeah.
Oh yeah, I do.
21 Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a slut too.
Son, groundbreaking.
The crazy thing is that
it's so crazy.
relationship only. How long did that relationship last?
What did you say?
How long did that relationship last?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying.
About a
It's
year or
like
two.
20,
I don't even know if
a
it was
year or
longer.
two. I don't know if it was a year or two.
Might have been like
Was
a
it
few months.
Jelani?
I don't know. I wasn't really watching like too much Wendy Williams back then, but I do feel like it wasn't more than like 6 months. It was kind of short lived. That was when 21
That's all.
Savage kind of first came out, or he was kind of a new rapper.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy, man. For such a short relationship that he did something like that people like still bring up to roast him and everything. But yeah.
I didn't think it was like I didn't think it was. I feel like dudes have done crazier stuff in the name of love than called himself a hoe.
Facts. I think just the fact that it was at like a protest with the sign.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I get it though. I put myself in some wild situations.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, okay, I would say like I'll acknowledge like this is a pretty wild shot for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Pretty crazy.
I was trying to keep it moving past that. I was trying to
But
build my brother up.
at the same time, it's like it's 1 out of 100,000 applications. You know what I'm saying? 1 out of 100,000 applications. You know what I'm saying? You kind of shooting for the. You feel me? Yeah, I'm saying so. Yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna
but
lie, I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad, bro.
No. You good.
I was gonna say, I ain't gonna lie. Like before, I just googled her page. Before I did think she was a pretty girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought she was like her early 20s or like mid 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And then Foles is just mature and everything like that. But I mean, it is what it is. Like you say, just tricky situation. But Foles been out of school for a couple years now. I feel like that's also important. If you've been out of school a couple years, it is that's different. But at the same time, wild is wild, and But I don't know, like you said, bro. Like my dad and my stepmom, bro, they had a 13-year age gap, bro. 13. So you got that. Jay-Z and Beyonce, they 12 years. It's so many crazy age gaps, bro. And I mentioned that at the end. I said, okay, obviously the elephant in the room is the age gap. I said,
Right.
but Jay-Z and Beyonce is 12 years. We less than that.
Nah, that's a fact. I mean,
The way this episode started versus where we ended up right now is we was just on some like, the concert was cool, like, it's a good vibe.
Right.
Hey man,
Yeah.
salute,
Yo, on another note though, y'all ever been a side dude in a relationship?
That's side man. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
How was that
saying
experience for you?
I mean, it's just like if you don't know the dude, you just kind of like, I don't want to know about him. You know what I'm saying? And you just, hey, ain't concerning me. Because most of the time, the dude not like, he like, a deadbeat father. Like he just not active in the life. So he don't be texting, checking in on her, calling, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just there chilling, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I think if anything, you, I've dealt with craziness after the fact. Like he found out, months after the fact, and now you like, oh, and now you kind of got like one look over your shoulder and all that. So I think after that, like, I'm kind of cool off that lifestyle now.
You ever been a side dude, Johnny?
I think I was unknowingly a couple times. Like I try to avoid that more times than not, but I think there's like two examples where I think there's a possibility. One time at this girl's apartment. This is a funny story, but it could have went bad. She went to go like do something real quick. Keep in mind, it's my first time over there. She went to go like go to like the gas station or something like that. I don't know. She had to go run an errand, but her little sister lived with her. Her little sister was a teenager, so she was like, "Yeah, my little sister's boyfriend is gonna come over here in about like 5-10 minutes or whatever." I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, like, I don't, I'm like in her room or whatever. So I'm just in her room chilling or whatever. And I go out to the bathroom, but I never heard nobody come in. Nobody knocked at the door. Nobody, you know what I mean? Nobody announced themselves or whatever. So I walk out and it's just a dude standing there. And like, he a teenager, but he still looked like, he looked close to the door or whatever. And I'm just looking at him like, it's like an awkward silence. And then it's like, I think I gradually realized like, oh, that's her little sister's boyfriend or whatever. He was like, oh, my bad, bro, my bad. But for a second, I'm like, yo, this could have really been her boyfriend. Like, because I don't know what her situation is. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was one time where, it was a sticky situation. But no, I don't know. I don't think I'm knowingly like on purpose. Just, anything is possible now, bro. You really never know who's doing what. Like we kind of in treacherous times if we being real.
Right. Nah, for real, bro. That there was one time where I was a side dude. This was like in high school, but them high school relationships don't really be counting for real. But
No.
That situation though, but it was really crazy because we used to be, me and Rashad was in youth, and the girl who I was talking to was in the dude that she was like messing with. I think he was in youth, I believe, or well, we had like a lock in, and so like with the lock in, I remember because this was like my senior year, and I had literally left from her crib, and then went to the lock in, and then I saw him there, and it was like he was like one of the first people I saw when I walked in too, and it was just kind of crazy because it was just I was like, oh shit, what's up, bro? And he was just like, oh, what's up, man? And it was just like, it was just kind of like, dang, bro, like I was literally just with your girl, like, and like I saw that you had reached out and she didn't answer, It's just like, but it'd be like that, but and I feel like stuff like that. And then when I was in my younger 20s, I used to be like, man, shoot or shoot, bro. Shoot, if your dude ain't my homeboys, then you single to me. And you realize like a lot of girls don't care. Like they really just don't be caring. Like they will, it's like sometimes they'll tell you they got a boyfriend, but it's just like I remember one time, I ain't gonna hold you. Okay, the craziest, it was this girl. I don't even think her and the dude was like in a full relationship, but they had something going on, and it was the girl that I was messaging. Like we used to like we was talking and stuff, and then like I would never like we linked before, but I would never go over there because she lived like dummy far. Like she lived all the way out in like Lawrenceville, and so I will post a link one time. I end up just not responding, and she called me mad time though, like where you at, where you coming, this that, and the other, and then I just left it on red, and like it was messed up. But I was thinking in my mind, low key, man, maybe she needed to just leave me alone anyway. Like sometimes that's how I used to think. I used to think like, shoot, like I know I'm doing you wrong right now, but this is a sign you should just leave me alone anyway. So it's like it is what it is. And then so from there, she started posting and the reason I left her, like I even left her on red because I ended up going link with another girl. So that's why I was just like, you really should just like I'm young and lit right now. Don't leave me alone. So she started posting on Snapchat like a week later, her with this dude. And then so she posted with the dude, like, and was just all like, yeah, like, babe, this and he posted mad photos of them all on Snapchat. So, and I don't know, maybe me being prideful. I was like, I feel like she trying to be like, throw a little shot. You feel me? Showing all these pictures with this dude. She know I'm gonna see this. So she had posted probably about like 15 photos of them together. In the middle of it, it was one photo of her by herself. I commented on that one photo and sent some heart eyes. And she was like, thanks. LOL, thanks. My babe thinks it cute too. I was like, LOL, and I ain't asked you all that. So when you trying to link? And so, and because part of me was just kind of like, you want to sit here and act like you doing all this like to kind of stun on me. I'm like, girl, you're not really over me. And as I said, this is toxic, super toxic. But yeah, so then I was like, I bet. She was like, I was like, I'm gonna pull up, like, let's link. And she was just like, you really gonna come? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come. And yeah, so I pulled up the next day. We linked, and I remember, I ain't gonna hold you. So we were like, I went in for a kiss. Shorty was just like I got a boyfriend or whatever, like, and I was like, I looked at her, I said, do you really care about that right now? And I think she was so thrown off. It just like took her back. And then we just moved forward. And yeah. But
that's a dangerous mission going.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, I had to leave the game because it's like trouble and like so many other young men, you know what I'm saying? Like, dudes, if you going out over something, you going out usually over some money or a woman, bro.
it'd be about a woman more times than the money, for
More
real.
times than the money,
Facts.
bro.
Like
It's
what?
a dangerous
I'll say
game.
like 7 times out of 10 it's usually about a. You know what it is? Because it's like you can go make more money, and to an extent, obviously, you can go get another girl, but it'd be the pride thing for a lot of dudes. Like that's just I don't know. That's it's one of those things where it's like nobody thinks that's going to happen to them until it happens to them. Like, everybody thinks they're just a flyest guy, and you know their girl is never gonna do that to them. But especially now, bro. I don't know if it's just me or like maybe y'all see these TikToks. Like it'd be like these random TikToks of like because on TikTok, you know, to be honest, they got their spam accounts. It'll be like women just telling stories about times they've cheated or like making jokes about cheating. And yeah, man, it's spooky out here, bro.
100%, 100%. But like I always wanted to say, I think regardless, like what Mo said, you always have to shoot your shot. You know, it championship game on the line, season on the line. You have to at
Great
least get a
segue.
shot off. Uh, and so
Facts.
like fellas, just what's the life lesson you learned from this moment right here from the Houston Cougars in the national championship game against Florida?
Yeah, I when I saw that, 'cause I was watching the game, and as it happened, I was just like, wow, he really didn't just let it just drop. I see if it's just like this is the championship, right? This is it, and I don't know what year this particular young man is, but this might be your last collegiate game, your last game, of this magnitude ever. You feel me? You got to throw it up. Like the closeout by Clayton was good. I'll give him that. That was a good closeout, and he got up there. But at the same time, even if Clayton would have tipped it and blocked it, you would have had a better chance than you just throwing it down to the ground, waiting for one of your teammates to hopefully come get it. He a junior, so okay, he come back next year. And Houston is favored. They one of the favorites for next year anyway, too. So maybe he get a chance to redeem himself. A year from now, we'll be talking about a whole different story about Emmanuel Sharp. But yeah, that play was crazy because you gotta, I don't know, like if you're gonna pass out the shot, don't just throw it down. At least attempt to get it to a teammate. Don't have your teammate looking stunned like, oh crap, I gotta go run and get it, because that was just a bad play. But if what happens, sometimes those moments. Did y'all see the NIT championship? Like the final play for that?
Now, what happened there?
Mhm.
Oh, Buddy missed a wide open layup. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
I
they
think I saw
first.
that. I think I saw that now.
Yeah, he tried to float it, and he was literally probably about like 3 feet away from the goal, and end up missing. And a lot of people was like, you should have just threw it off the backboard. But the reason I bring it up because it's crazy how both championships really came down to the wire, and both of them had like crazy endings that could have easily went another way.
yeah, I think you about to say something, Rashad?
No, I was just gonna say no, 100%. What you got to say, Jelani? That was it.
No, I was gonna say I think the life lesson. You might be out at a bar or in a club somewhere, and you might see a young lady, and you might think that like, wow, she's a dime. She's that's top of the line, as Mike Jones said.
Right.
You might feel like you're not qualified or there to shoot your shot. You just gotta you gotta put the ball up. It might get blocked, it might get deflected, it might get swatted to the stands. You might miss like Carlton in the episode of Fresh Prince when he didn't even hit the backboard. It's just a reality of life sometimes. Also, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I saw like a quick highlight of this shot on Twitter. I did not watch a single second of college basketball this year, and it wasn't on. Oh no, I take that back. I watched one of the tournament games like a few weeks ago, but I really I had to work yesterday, so I missed the game, and I hadn't really watched too much college basketball this year at all.
No, I definitely haven't watched men's college basketball in a little minute, but last night, it was just a Monday night, everything like that. Like you said, you was working. Um, it was a late game, so I was off by that time. And since I was in town, it was kind of like a good bonding moment for me to see my dad or whatever before I head out of town and things of that sort. So that's why I was watching it. And then people were talking about it a lot. And I've been so into the women's game the last couple of years, and obviously the women's championship was a blowout. So yeah, but going back to what you said, man, like even if it's the daughter of a hip hop legend who's currently touring the world and has millions of streams and hundreds of thousands of fans around the world, you have to shoot. You have to get a shot up. If they're Especially if they say, "Hey, here's a basket. I want you to shoot." Who are you to just say, "Nah, I'm not." Go for it. And that's to any young man watching this right now. Go for it.
Okay. I will say though, it's a lot of young men who are out there shooting half court shots when they could have easily just did like a little mid range. You feel me? Like they over here, they going for it all when it didn't. And I feel like that's kind of ruining the game because a lot of girls, like we had a discussion about this a few podcasts ago, where we'll talk about how the talking with girls out in public now, how, and I feel like girls are a lot more apprehensive because dudes just be like they shoot, but they shoot wild. It's like, bro, you didn't even have to do all that. You could have kind of just went in a little bit, did a light little like free throw. It was a free throw. You feel me? Like just to get the number, get the easy stuff. But then they trying to be like, so you trying to fuck tonight or what? They be like, whoa, like how we get here. So shoot y'all shot, but like shoot a shot within range. You feel me? Like don't go too crazy with it. It's because I feel like, and that's a problem. A lot of dudes be so quick they want to get, it's that instant gratification. They're trying to they're ready to hit. They're ready to, like what we wasting time for. And in some situations, it do work like that. Like some girls will go. You feel me? But pick and choose. But yeah, shoot your shot, but pick and choose the exact shot you're gonna take.
Don't overlook the cute girl. That's my advice.
Don't overlook the cute girl.
Don't overlook the cute girl because everybody's going for the baddies. Everybody's going for the 9s and the 10s and the Instagram girl and the song. So everybody, if we in the club and Ruby Rose is in the club, and I don't know who else would be like kind of like in that realm, Kalani Rogers or something like that in the club, right? Everybody looking at those two, right? But you got a cool, a cool local cutie with a normal job, regular lifestyle, whatever regular is, whatever you want to call that. Right next to you, y'all vibing and making jokes and bonding the whole night. Whole time you just looking at it like, oh, this is someone I'm having a good conversation with. That could be, that could be your partner. But you too focus on Ruby Rose and so you missing out on something that's really good right here, something really solid right here. The reality is a lot of those women, the Ruby Roses, is out of touch with reality. It's not always an enjoyable experience. I'd rather have my peace, someone that's touching reality, and someone that I probably have even more in common with, which is going to be a more enjoyable experience at the end of the day anyway. So don't overlook the cute girl.
I would agree with you on that. As far as there's a lot of pretty young women that work just regular jobs. Just work at like she's a cashier at Costco or whatever. She pays her rent at her 1-bedroom, goes home, might have like a little lash tech business on the side or whatever. I would also tell the guys out there, don't be afraid to pay to play. Hey man, you know that it's 2025. Like I feel like it's easier to spend, you know, to buy it now than it's ever been. Like there's a lot of people. It's kind of like an unspoken thing now, where I feel like, especially the ones that have like 50,000, like the real popping ones, like it's kind of an unspoken thing where it's like if you got the right number, you gotta be kind of slick about it. You can't just be straight up like, yo, I'm trying to do this for this price or whatever. But if you kind of like beat around the bush, like, you know, it's available to be purchased out there. So if you gotta take that route, we just brought up Boston Richie. Like I personally think Boston Richie is easily the lamest rapper alive right now. I don't think there's a close second. I think he's the by far the lamest rapper alive. Not even because he's a trick, just because it's just a combination of things. He's just overall just not a cool rapper at all. But you know, a big part of his brand is tricking on women. So you know, do what you got to do, man.
This man Jelani said, "Purchase your tracks online."
You feel me? Take it back to the soil.
Facts. You know, I do want to add to that, you know, with overlooking. Don't overlook the BBWs either. You know, make sure.
Bro. Mo, you just said something right there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm saying,
You just said something right there. You talk about personality. Go ahead. Go. I'm gonna let you go.
oh yeah, personality. They cook good. You know, it's like I don't know if you ever cuddle with a BBW. You know, it's like, you know, you get a little more cushion for the pushing. You feel me? Like I don't know, man. Like, you know,
Treat you
and for real,
well.
like exactly. BBW do be like mad nice. Like they be mad, you know, but some of the BBW do be kind of stuck up. That'd be the crazy part when you meet a BBW that's stuck up and you like, come on now.
No,
Like,
because they be pulling. See, that's the thing. A lot of people assume they don't be pulling because of how society treats them on the outside, but behind closed doors, they be pulling more than probably the average. You know what I'm saying? The average woman. And so
okay,
since they go ahead,
I would say, do they be pulling, or excuse my language, we passed the point, or do they just be fucking?
Oh, that can be a form of pulling, though. If that's just what they're looking for. But the thing about that is that every woman alive be pulling though, because dudes will insert their penises into anything. So it's a slippery slope.
That's what I'm saying. Like, cause I think back on yet again, bring up the, you know, with the Drewski show, you had girls like Bambi and Meatball talking about, I get any dude I want, blah blah this and the other, and it's like, yeah, you get these dudes where yeah they'll take you home and do X, Y, and Z, but are they finna claim you?
I feel like this
That's
is Oh, go ahead, Mo. I'll let you finish.
well, that's just pretty much that. I was gonna say like, woody dudes claim you? Because yeah, you can get a lot of dudes who gonna do X, Y, and Z, but realistically, you know, they not gonna claim you. You feel me? So it's like, did you really pull them? Like, what do you really have?
It reminds me of like black dudes with white girlfriends.
Okay, elaborate.
All right, here we go. Y'all ready? Okay, let's get into it, man.
There now.
I feel like a lot of times white girls, like, you know, they obviously kind of when they go after black dudes, especially starting in high school and college and stuff like that, with the football players or the athletes or the rappers or something, it's like they fetishize them. So it's like for the athletes, they fetishize like this big, strong black man, you know what I'm saying, and all the stereotypes that come with black men. And then with rappers, it's like this big, thuggish black man, like he's so hood, like he's got a gun, he's dangerous black man from the hood. And it's like, so they go after them for the sake of their fantasies and fetishes, as opposed to actually liking the person and valuing the person. It's the same thing with black guys too, with white girls. It's like, you know how they're like, oh, got me a white girl, I got me something exotic, you know what I'm saying, and how that used to be like a status symbol. um it's not that they actually like the girl. They just want the status symbol of like I got something that's different.
This be the thing for me, right? A lot of the dudes, there's nothing wrong with interracial dating. Like if you find love with a white person, like there's nothing wrong with that for me personally. But um my problem, a lot of the dudes that take pride in dating white women, like very rarely, I would say 9 times out of 10, those dudes do not pull beautiful white women. Like these dudes be pulling bottom of the barrel, like very mid, very either they mid or they like the bad baby Alabama Barker personality type where it's like they're cosplaying a black girl. Those don't be like the milkmen, as we call them, like them dudes, they be weirdos 9 times out of 10.
No, facts. I I do agree with that. Where yeah, a lot of these I don't know, and it's excuse me. I feel a lot of times, like you said, their standard for white women be so low, and then for black women, you could show them like the baddest chick, and they'll be like, "Nah, she's still not cute enough," you know?
They don't be like her attitude. I'm like, bro, are you serious, bro?
Yeah. I think a lot of times, and I don't know if I mentioned this before. I feel like a lot of times men who only go for white women is because of a lack of like they can't deal with a woman with strength. You know, because black women come where you have to be a man who is strong, who can lead. Because if not, then a black woman, you know, they because of where they have been in a totem pole of society, they have learned that they have to be strong. They have to be, you know, be self sufficient in a lot of cases, and you know, be able to do what they got to do. And if you ain't a man who can lead to really take on that role and to be able to give her, I don't know, to give her exactly what she needs as as a man, then a lot of times, you know, they end up going with people of the opposite race who don't really look for much. And or as you said, they're fetishizing you. So like they don't expect as much because it's just like, well, at least I got a black man, you know? It's the whole look of it. So that's why a
Yeah,
lot of these dudes are oh my bad, I think that's why a lot of these dudes are passport bros. They talk about how, you know, man, women in America, this, that, and the other. And it's just women in America have higher standards. These you want to go deal with some chick in the DR who where it's like, oh, I can get a girl in the DR for $100 and she gonna be my babe for the rest of the month. You feel me? She gonna cook, clean, do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, yeah, cause they ain't got nothing out there. They I going to DR, bro, was it was an interesting experience because it's a beautiful place, beautiful women, but it ain't nothing out there for real, you know? I remember I was we have did some four wheelers. So I did four wheelers and we're going through mud. So all my clothes muddy as heck, bro. And then we'll finna go jump into like this little like cave or whatever. So as we walking up, it was kids walking up just like, you know, like, you got anything? You got anything? And then I had my Nike socks in my hands, full of mud, literally completely covered in mud. They were like, can we have those? I was like, sure. You know, I'm like, these muddy, because I was like, I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm never wearing these again. These are done. And they were like, they were so happy. They went running off of some muddy Nike socks that gonna probably still be tint brown after they wash them. Ain't like they got no washer and dryer. They ain't got no Downy. You feel me? Like a Downy, my bad. But it's like they ain't got none of that. So really, it ain't finna be. You know, it's gonna be it's gonna look crazy, but it got the Nike check though. You feel me? So I don't know. It's
That started out like real wholesome, and then
I
so you was roasting it towards the end.
but it's real. But for real though, like I'm being like
I get what you're
real,
saying though. It's real.
yeah.
It was just funny, just being like, yo, they ain't got no washers, they ain't got no dryers.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is in a lot of these third world countries like that, bro. You know, it's. I mean, I ain't gonna say the DR completely third world, but it's it's lower second if it ain't. You feel me? Like, but yeah, but shout out to DR though. It's lit out there.
No, I was just about to say being a passport bro in 2025, it just doesn't really make sense because it's like back to the point that I was making. Like they literally, okay, so you're gonna fly out to DR to pay. I guess you're gonna be paying cheaper prices than what you would pay over here, but like you're paying for your flight, you're paying for a hotel. Like they literally have apps where you can look up people that work in that field and pay for it here. And you can literally specify on these apps. I know because I've done the research. You can literally specify on these apps what type of ethnicity or like what type of, um, you know, age, body preference. Like they got it down to a T, man.
You
It's
went
out
to the
there.
white pages?
Oh no, I don't know. I have a specific website that I've went to do my consultations or whatever. But yeah, no, it's like they literally whatever you into, like whatever um you know activity you're into, you can specify it by that. Like they got it, man. You don't have to fly out to DR or Thailand or wherever you guys are going and spend a bunch of money on luggage and all that to be able to do all. And if that's the only reason you're going out there, that's crazy.
My
That's
thing,
what I'm saying.
yeah, I think at the end of the day, bro, it's like with stuff like that, or even forget even passport bros and all that, right? Let's just stay in America. With it's gonna be crazy. Marrying a white woman, you don't want a partner. You just want a body. You don't
I
want
Mm.
get
an
my
actual.
bad.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Jelani.
No, so I get what you're saying to an extent. I ain't gonna put that on every black man that marries a white woman, like, but I get what you the stereotype or the not the stereotype. There are a lot of black dudes that because I feel like that stereotype has been reinforced throughout history, where like we said before, where like black women are labeled as being tougher or white women are labeled as being like more feminine or whatever. Like um there are some there's a population of black men that do believe in that. You know what I'm saying? It's messed up, but that is a reality. You know.
How many times, especially we live in a podcast here, have you seen a podcast with a black dude married to a white woman, and they get into this conversation, talk about Dr. Umar, and someone say, "Man, black women they just complain too much. They just too loud. They just argue too much." And it's like, bro, that is a human being. Like you literally argue with your bros every day about sports. You argue with them about cars, jobs, money. Like it's just what we do. We argue about music. You know what I'm saying? We argue about everything. Like it's just a part of being a human. So it's like you're not offended that she arguing about it. You just want someone that's gonna be mute and a body, bro. And
Exactly.
like you at that point, you know, yeah, I think we have a larger issue to look at with society and just how we're thinking and stuff of just like, okay, like we're so disconnected from each other and human connection. We not even looking at human connection and genuine relationships. We looking at satisfying our personal needs and avoiding
Yeah.
loneliness. Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say, that goes in. Excuse me. I feel like that goes into the whole thought of the submissive woman and all that stuff. How a lot of you guys they're emphasizing that I want a submissive. I want a woman that's a feminine woman, this that, and the other. And I think a lot of times, as I said, I feel like men don't want to be called out on their BS because your partner can be the person who's with you the most, who sees you day in and day out. They're gonna see you when you off your BS. You feel me? And when you sit here saying that you're gonna set X, Y, like set these certain goals and do X, Y, and Z, but then you're not living up to none of those expectations, a black woman gonna call you on that. And that's the biggest thing that a lot of men, they just don't be, they don't really, they not ready for that. It, and it kind of cuts into their self-esteem. They'd rather have somebody who just, as you said, just be a body who's just there, who just gonna agree whatever you say and don't give you pushback. Like that whole submissive woman stuff. And like, me and Rashad got a friend who was kind of talking about how he want like a feminine woman who, gets her nails done and this all this. And I'm like, bro, like the stuff that he said, I'm like, bro, there's so many women like that's out here right now. But what I realized personally after reading those messages, I was like, you want a woman to make you feel like a man, but a woman can't make you feel like a man. You got to just be a man. You got to go out there and do it. And if you can't go out there and just go be a man, and you looking for a woman to validate that for you, then you lose it, man. Like, you never gonna find what you truly need, and somebody that can truly help you be better. Like, a woman should push you. That's what I'm big on. I know in my next relationship, I want somebody who can push me to like be the best version of myself. I want us to build together. I want us to have businesses together, all that stuff. Like when I see Pinky and Dave from Big Dave's cheesesteaks and stuff, like them together, that's a beautiful thing. Like a power couple where two people have came together. They had their own individual things, but then they're coming together to build an empire that's going to last for not only for them while they're here, but for their children and for the community. So I think that's something that more people should strive for. Like, look for that. Because also, last thing I'll say, I've heard people talk about, cause I want somebody to be a business partner with me. Some people like, I don't want to work with my significant other. And I'm like, I don't know. This is the person that's closer to you. I feel like this should be somebody that if I have a business, I want to be able to have somebody that is intelligent enough to where I can go to them and they can give me sound advice. I don't want just some woman who's just going to be there and just be like, oh, I mean, that don't know nothing. Like, I want you to be able to give me solid input. Like I could go to my homeboys. I should be able to go to my girl. But a lot of guys ain't looking for that.
Yeah, when you said Pinky, I thought you were talking about a totally different Pinky at first. I was like, yeah, where's this conversation? I thought you were about to be like, yeah, when I see Pinky and Mr. Marcus, I'm like, bro, I don't know if that's. I thought you was going a totally different direction, brother. But shout out to the other couple that you brought up. You said they got the cheesesteaks.
Yeah, no. Pinky, she just brought back her business too. So salute to Pinky on that.
Slutty Vegan.
Slutty Vegan.
Oh, that okay. I got you.
Okay, she had a car accident too, where she said she like her life flashed before her eyes. So salute to Pinky for sure. For that, and then like you said, I think his name is like Derek Cheston or something like that, but he owns Big Dave's cheesesteaks, and yeah, that's her husband. So yeah, they both own successful food chains and stuff like that, expand across America, multiple locations and stuff, and they're just doing the thing, man. Obviously they're not perfect, but no relationship is, but they I don't know, like Mo said, that's kind of what you want. You want someone to push you, or at least that's what I want. That's what Mo wants. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't just want a pretty person. Like it gets boring, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? I want a human. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want a quality human, because that's who we are. We're humans. It's the ecosystem, everything like that. That was all I had on that. If anybody else had anything else. Oh, yeah, we got on this whole tangent because we were talking about BBWs. All right, yeah. So BBWs, like what Mo was saying, I was saying like a lot of, I think, men, they like you say, fetishize BBWs of like they like BBWs for like their body or just the fact that they're different. They're bigger than the average woman they might be with or have dated and stuff like that. So that's like the appeal or the draw, but they're not like, they're too scared to like step out in public with them and commit to them and relationships and everything, or connect with them on a deeper level just because of surface level reasons and shallow reasons and things of that sort. So I think that's really tough. I look forward to a time where people can move past that and kind of just embrace all body types and stuff publicly, unabashedly and everything like that. And yeah, so that's what I think about that.
Hey, shout out to them skinny girls too, man. I feel like they don't get enough love. Not too skinny, but little booties. You feel me?
But I don't think people
just
be
want to
like,
throw that out there.
I don't think people be scared to like pop out with the skinny girl.
I mean, if she depending on how skinny she is, like if she got a pretty face, but she ain't got no butt, some guy be like, I don't know about that one. But teach his own.
Who are who are your top 3 BBWs all time? Like, just your personal favorite. Like if you were making like or maybe say top 4, like a Mount Rushmore of BBWs. I'm just going off like career accomplishments. I'm not even going from like the horny aspect. I'm just go like life accomplishments.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure love the Monique. You know what I mean? Like the Parkers, classic television.
Okay.
Precious. I never want to watch that movie, but she did win an award for that. I'm going Monique. Who else am I going to go with? I asked the question and I can't even think of 2 more that I like. Maybe it has to be like a collaborative list of like what are some names that y'all think of like historical BBWs?
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj is not a BBW, brother. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Barry. Don't come after me, man.
That was insane.
Yeah. Cause we gotta that's a whole that list got expanded if we're gonna say Nicki Minaj.
I'm about to say then
I say that's half of half of these IG models. But I'll say hey, shout out to Ashley Graham. Ashley Graham's a good.
Oh yeah, she's the model. She can go on the list. I'm trying to think who else.
That's the problem. There we go. That's the problem. We can't even name. I mean, I can name them, but it's like who do I like? Like Sherry Shepherd. Kind of indifferent about her. Okay. 05 Jordan Sparks. Okay, 05 Jordan Sparks.
Okay, there's
American Idol Jennifer Hudson.
Yo, your standards of what a is crazy, bro. You got bro. If a woman these are not BBWs, bro. These are like regularly shaped women, bro.
05 Jordan Sparks?
You talking about when
you thinking about new Jordan Sparks? Hold on,
bro. Pull up a photo.
I got y'all.
I think that was 07, by the way, when she was on American Idol. I could be wrong. I think it was like 07. No, I don't think Jordan's BBW is like.
Nah. I remember her being bigger than this. So maybe it's just like back then people wasn't obese for real, and so like just a little like kind of little meat on your bones woman. They look bigger than what they were. I think that's what it was like because like women are really, or not even just women. People, Americans in general, are getting bigger and bigger by the year. And it's like you go in Walmart and you see a big person, one of them big people on those scooters, and you like, oh, that's just a bigger person. Like 10 years ago, you see that same person, you'd be like, that is a huge human. Like it's just different now.
Yeah. Did y'all watch the show Roseanne growing up? Like
Roseanne, that's a good one.
Now the thing about it is that in recent years she's had some wild comments. So I'm just saying 90s era as far as the TV show. Like I'm gonna give her credit for that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like bigger women don't even get a chance to be famous. The grandma of George Lopez.
Who did you say?
Oh no, I said
The grandma of George Lopez.
that was Rashad. He just shouted her out. She was funny on that show.
Who? Yeah, who did you say, Jelani?
Oh no, I said 90s era Roseanne, you know, the TV show. I like that TV show. I mean, she said some racist stuff in like the last 10 years.
I love.
Yeah, I like a good Roseanne rerun.
I used to have fact. I used to have Roseanne on DVR. I used to record. He used to come on like about 5 in the morning, and I used to record it. And then I'll rewatch those episodes. I had like a big old list of Roseanne episodes in the DVR back in the day.
Yeah, Roseanne was fine.
John Goodman is actually one of my favorite actors.
Oh, facts. He's a legend.
Did John Goodman die?
No, he's alive.
Okay, all right.
No.
I was about to say rest in peace.
John Candy, who was he was in Cool Runnings, that white guy. He's not on Earth anymore. Rest in peace.
Okay, all right. Rest in peace to that man.
Yeah.
So,
I think that was
have y'all
enough
seen that show? Yeah. Have y'all seen that show on HBO Max with John Goodman? What's Buddy that's from Down and Eastward Bound?
Oh,
y'all know who I'm talking about?
yeah, Danny McBride. The star of the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
They he got a show. He got a show on Max that's about pretty much they run a big like mega church, but you know it's all the dark stuff that's happening behind the scenes and stuff. It's like a comedy show. It's actually pretty good. Like I enjoyed it a lot. I would definitely recommend checking it out. I can't remember the name. Yes, The Righteous Gemstones. Yes, and then there's a guy on there, their uncle, great actor. He's in a few other things that I really like. But yeah, the show overall though is a pretty good show. And then John Goodman on there is really good.
I need to check it out.
So,
it's crazy that he's still acting. Like Roseanne was like 30 years ago, bro.
yo, Sugar Mama from the Proud Family.
Right.
Yo, you know what's crazy? The universe is wild.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
I thought of that too, and I didn't say it out loud.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Proud Family classic. But Take K's ex.
What happened with her?
She went on the stand and testified against him yesterday.
Okay, so here's the thing: we say X, right? But they was teenagers though when this situation went down. So like, it ain't you know what I'm saying? Like she don't really have no loyalty to him at this point. I thought his cases were settled. I was like when I saw this case pop up, I thought they had already. But I guess this is the other one.
The other one, yeah. You thinking about the one where I think KK was the accomplice.
Oh, so he's the trigger man on this one.
Allegedly, yeah.
Okay.
He's cooked, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. Go ahead. My bad. I was gonna say I thought when you said take K's ex, you were still talking about the BBWs. I was like, okay.
Low key.
But
I low key thought that too at first.
Oh no, I low key was, yeah.
But okay.
Hey,
all right, we done with the BBWs. But,
versatile.
Yeah, but yeah, that he is cooked. Yeah, he done. I mean, he been cooked though. Like realistically, we knew he wasn't getting out of jail. The boy did the race for a reason.
That has to be like maybe top 10 wildest stories in rap history. Like the fact that really happened, and he was. I mean, I don't know how long he was on a run before he got locked up, but that was like early 2017. I remember it started off kind of it was like a viral rumor almost, and then maybe like a week or two later, the race was going crazy. The whole mixtape ended up. I just remember that mixtape being everywhere around that time. Like you would hear people playing it out their cars, especially my younger brother around that time. That was like his, him and TK and like Triple X. That was like his, around that time. It was like the two guys he was into. Yeah, no, that
Both of their lives over. Crazy.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, a lot of that whole. There's very few rappers that survived the SoundCloud era and are still like thriving right now.
It's just Yachty, 21, Kodak, Uzi, and Cardi. That's it.
And Cardi, like the only real superstar from that group.
Yeah. Well, Uzi used to be.
He was at one point. I think that time has passed, but he's still
21. 21 is kind of up there.
I'm talking about like a superstar. Like he's a star for sure.
I mean, 21 did a whole album with Drake.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Don't get me wrong, 21. I'm a 21 Savage fan, but like that was any album where Drake is doing a album with somebody else, he's gonna be the main attraction of the album.
But how many? But like at the time, Drake only did one collab album, and that was Future. Mm. So it was like when he did this, it was like, oh snap! This is the next person he does an album with after Future.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. 21 Savage is a star. I just think superstar. If you're not doing 250, at least 250 first week, I don't think you're a superstar.
Childish Gambino superstar?
That's a different situation though, because you're talking about somebody who is like he created one of the greatest TV shows of all time, like outside of the fact that he's a musical artist, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a multi-faceted. I'm just saying, like straight in Hollywood terms, yeah, I would say he's a superstar. But musically, I don't know if he's a superstar musically at this point. He was in 2016, 17 when Redbone was out. I would say he was. A loud silence there.
Oh no! I thought Mo was gonna say something. That's why I waited, because I thought it froze up.
Oh no! I thought.
Oh yeah, I mean it did kind of freeze up. Yeah, I agree with Jelani. That's exactly what I was thinking. I think he in music. I don't know if necessarily because he's very well respected, and so of course he still gets a lot of collabs and features and stuff. But I don't think within music he's necessarily a superstar. But I think him in general is. I think because he's done so much and has transcended so many different genres of. But not even necessarily genres, but different forms of creativity. But him as just a musician, I don't know if I could say he's necessarily a superstar.
So if you sell out the Garden, you're not a superstar.
I don't think. As I said, I think he can, especially as he promoted as his last ever tour. As an artist, I think that kind of helped it. But yeah, I don't think selling out the Garden necessarily makes you a superstar. I think it makes you a star. I think, as I said, he's very well respected and very well acclaimed. But is he a superstar within music? Like, if he was to drop another album right now, as I said, with that being promoted as his last album and his last tour and all that stuff, that had a different aura around it. But if he was just to drop an album tomorrow, how much is it going to do?
Not that many numbers.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is,
Well, I really want to know, to be honest, more so like the 21 question from you.
Oh, is 21 a superstar?
Yeah.
I don't know about a superstar. I think yet again very well respected, well acclaimed in his own right. I think he definitely exceeded a lot of expectations that people have for him. But a superstar, I don't know. I don't cause I agree with Jelani with the whole top like 250 plus. You got to be hitting something like that. I think it was 21 dropped an album this year. It would do over 100. It'll do for sure. Like I think I think he's kind of where because I don't think Lil Baby is a superstar no more. I think Lil Baby had his time, but I don't think he's superstar. And I put he's kind of like there in that range, like a Lil Baby.
Okay,
Like
I have
they
two
seem
questions.
comparable.
Two more people
Okay.
then. Rod Wave and NBA YoungBoy, superstars.
Yes,
Jelani.
Way for sure.
This is where it gets
Yes.
fascinating. This is where it gets fascinating because if we just going off numbers and like Rod Wave sells out like real venues by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like Rod Wave does pretty great numbers. He does six figures like pretty much every time he comes out. I don't know if he's on a mainstream level, if he's a superstar, but that's kind of tough for me to answer as far as Rod Wave. It's kind of like borderline between. I wouldn't be mad at somebody saying yes. NBA YoungBoy, I would say yes, just because. His cult following is, I would say him and Cardi probably got the two. Him, Cardi, and Travis got the craziest cult followings in hip hop. Like, it's beyond just being like rap fans. Like they really, it's almost kind of weird. Like, and Nicki too, obviously, but like those are probably the four wildest fan bases in hip hop. Like they really ride or die for that guy. And the fact that YoungBoy has never, outside of Make No Sense, I don't think NBA YoungBoy has ever had a song that was like really getting played on the radio like that.
Nevada got some love after the Suns were singing it when they went to the finals.
Oh
That's
yeah.
That's lit. No. I'm tripping. I'm tweaking. The Gritty song.
Okay.
They say, but like, ooh, walking with that heater.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about like you never gonna hear me a YoungBoy getting played on the radio like a Drake or a Kendrick or somebody like that, especially for somebody who has been, I think he's been like the number one played rapper on YouTube for like 7 years straight or something like that. Like
probably since like 2018.
That's insane. We're talking about almost a full decade of somebody who doesn't get invited to award shows, doesn't get played on the radio, like. So yeah, in his own right, I would say YoungBoy is. I would say Rod Wave is borderline.
Another. Well, Post Malone is from that era. He's from SoundCloud. He's a superstar.
Yeah.
Is he still a superstar?
He was on the little Budweiser commercial with the white comedian. What's his name?
Shane
the
Gillis.
White comedian that's everywhere. Yeah, Shane Gillis. Yeah, he was on the commercial with him, the Budweiser commercial.
I mean, I think because Post Malone's last couple albums, what have they done? I think now that he crossed over, I think he is. I think. Actually, he's still a superstar. I'll give him that because he's still. White people love him.
Because it's like, to me, it's like Taylor Swift, right? Like the last Taylor Swift song I know is probably from like 2016, 2017. She just keeps getting bigger and bigger though. But like the last song I know by like Heart, it's probably like Bad Blood, which might have been like what, 2013? That might have even been before 2016. Go ahead.
No, that's a fact. I think I ain't gonna lie, I like Post Malone, some of his country songs. He got some good songs.
The last Post Malone song I know is like Run Away, Run Away. I don't know how many years ago that was. Circles, that's the name of the song.
Yeah, that he got the one song with Morgan Wallen. Like, I had some help.
I ain't her son.
Okay, yeah. I know that song.
Yeah.
They played on the commercials.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess I guess Post is he's still a superstar. I think the album before the country album, I don't know where he went with that. That was kind of like on some, I don't know, trying to be Bob Dylan. And I think he lost people with that a little bit because that album didn't really do nothing. And he didn't really have no songs on there that I don't even think like people are tourists. But again, I know I'm not white, but I know this last album, the country album, I feel he had some because I definitely have heard at least like 3 of his songs and played consistent rotation on like the country radio stations, but they all have features from big country artists as well. So I think that probably helped push it. So.
I'm gonna be real. I don't think I've like. I mean, of course, I hear certain Post Malone songs like, like the Sunflower, like the big songs that are inescapable. Like I definitely hear them out there. But like, I remember when White Iverson first came out, I unironically liked that song. Like I actually genuinely liked that song when it first came out, and yeah, ever since then, like I just haven't really I've just gradually cared about him less and less over the years. But it's just been crazy to watch him become go from being like the dude on SoundCloud with the braids to being what he is now,
No, facts.
So-
Yo, you're the first person that put me on to White Iverson. I don't know if you remember that.
I was just about to say, I remember being at like a house party with you in like 2015 and playing that song. Like, I remember that. Like, it's crazy that was 10 years ago.
Right, and I remember vividly because you showed me the song. You was like, "Yeah, bro, it's this song like by the dude. It's hard." And I was like, and I fucked with it heavy, and it only had like 300,000 views on SoundCloud at the time, and I remember I went back to school like that weekend afterwards. It was during spring break, and I remember going back to school, and I remember the person I was riding with, they did not like the song at all. And they were like, bruh, this is some BS, blah, blah. I was like, bruh, this is it, bro. I'm telling you, like, this song rock. And from there, every function I went to, bruh, every chance I got to hop on Knox, I played White Iverson. And yeah, like, it went up. I'm for sure part of the reason it spread, at least in Georgia Southern.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember that, because I want to say I saw somebody I followed that I liked their musical opinion. I trusted. They tweeted it out, and then I was like, "Oh, this is fire!" But you got to remember, this is before, like, we didn't know who he was going to become, who he became, as far as like the country white boy. Like, this is when he was doing songs with Key and all that. So we thought he was going to be more in that like R&B type of lane. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I can't rewrite history and act like I didn't love that song at the time. I definitely loved that song when it came out.
Facts.
Nah, 100%. Shout out to Key for sure, Fat Man Key. So Emotional 2 is on the way. These feels. I forgot what the last album was called, but I like that album. I think it's one of my favorite albums of the year so far, 2025. His first album going independent. I pulled this up, the 2009 freshman list, because I wanted to ask you guys just in general from 2009 on. So no Kanye, no Nas, no Jay-Z. Who do you guys think are the superstars in 2025 of rap?
Who are all of them? Like, who are the current?
Yeah, like question, like, is Tyler the Creator considered a superstar?
Yes.
Absolutely. Without
So
question.
so you got the big three. You got Tyler. You got
Tyler.
Would you say Wiz Khalifa's a superstar?
Not at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, he
So you
wasn't
got
wrong
those
with
four.
You got those four. I would say Future.
Future.
I would say Travis.
Travis Scott.
I feel like it might be. I feel like it's a couple obvious names we're probably missing. It's not that many though.
I'll say
So it's-
Kid. I think
Nicki
Kid Cudi's
Minaj.
still up
Nicki
there.
Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
yeah, I
Yeah,
put Nicki
Nicki.
still there. Nicki still does crazy numbers.
You said
I
Kid
think-
Cudi?
I think he's still up there because if he dropped the album, he'll do crazy numbers.
So you saying Kid Cudi over? So Wiz Khalifa isn't the guy who made "See You Again" isn't a superstar, but Kid
Yeah, that
Cudi
was-
is in
that was 10 years ago.
2025.
I got Wiz and Cudi. My bad.
Oh, you good? I was just gonna say I feel like Kid Cudi because if we just think about if both of them dropped an album because I think Wiz dropped so much, there's a bit of a fatigue there. Like so, I don't know. Like, but I feel if Cudi was to drop an album, it would be way more highly anticipated. And
But, like,
I
think
think
about,
he would, depending. Think about what?
If Wiz goes overseas to India and does a stadium, he can pack out that stadium just because everybody knows Black and Yellow and "See You Again."
True. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you could say maybe Kid Cudi. Okay, I'll give him maybe he's not a superstar because I just know if he was to drop an album though, but I think it's just because Wiz dropped so much, like he dropped a lot of music consistently. So and his numbers, but I think a lot of people still rock with him. So okay, I'll say Kid Cudi not a superstar. They are around about the same area. Yeah. You know, R.P. Mac Miller, he would definitely be a superstar right now.
Yeah, at this point, I think he would right now. He would. But you know who would be a superstar right now? This is just my personal opinion. Pop Smoke would be a superstar right now, bro. I really think Pop Smoke was on his way. Like, I don't know if you remember the footage from he did his first show like maybe like a week or so before he died over there out in London, bro. He was really on his way to being like. All right, you gotta look at Pop Smoke like this. His first song came out end of 2018. He was gone by February of 2020. That album, like both of those Meet the Woo 2 mixtapes and the album that came out that summer, the Shoot for the Stars or Aim for the Moon, they rang off for like a good 2-3 years after they came out. Like all those songs was getting played on the radio, all those songs was getting played at parties. Like I think he would have been a superstar right now.
The thing with Pop for me is like I look at Cash Cobain and kind of like Mo was there with me, like, and I seen Cash Cobain perform like 3-4 times, and it seemed like online Cash Cobain got like the world in New York in a chokehold, like everybody doing the dance, like you even go out and they just play the song and everybody doing the dance and stuff. I seen them perform in Atlanta in the South, and it's like only half the crowd vibing with it, or half the crowd, you know, dancing along, like really participating, being active participants. And it's like, I don't know, it just feels like it's so regional when you see him perform in Atlanta versus like so when I think about his success and how it carry overs to like the South and everything like that, that's kind of where I think about Pop Smoke. Like Pop Smoke, like you say, yes, was popping in London. They had the UK drill movement, and he brought the UK drill over to New York for popularized it in New York. It's like, okay, how does that sound really travel? You know what I'm saying? In the South, like how does it play in Tampa if he did a live show? You know what I'm saying? That's my concern. Thinking with Pop,
I think it was still going crazy because I think his subject matter is better. I think he just made better songs than Cash Cobain. Like Cash Cobain is a vibe. I think he got online. It looks real cool because of he has a lot of women around him and you know the beat, you know, cool and everything. But I think Pop Smoke just genuinely makes better. He made better music than Cash Cobain. Like I go back and listen to Cash Cobain's album, and like his songs ain't really talking about nothing for real. You know, like his songs, but he ain't really talking nothing. Like What You Know About Love is still one of my favorite songs. Like that, and or even the I did something wrong, but that the song I'm
That
talking
song went global.
about Pop
Yeah,
Smoke.
yeah.
Exactly. I would say when I was in DR, bro, Pop Smoke went off in the clubs, bro. Like around a bunch of Spanish people. I wasn't around like a bunch of Americans in a DR setting. I was around a bunch of people from all over the world, and it was like they were playing music and it was going crazy. So I think it would have still went off. I think with Cash Cobain, I think it's more viral. He was more viral because of like the dance stuff like that. But yeah, I think Pop would have been. I do genuinely agree because once I heard that album, because at first I was thinking I felt the same way you kind of felt, Rashad. But then when that last album came out after he passed, I was like, oh, nah, this dude was finna be out of here because that album was really
With the
good.
woo.
Yeah, bro. Like
Another
that
hit.
last album was actually it was a really good album. So I think he would. I definitely agree. I feel he would be a superstar right now. He would be
But
doing
look,
crazy
I
numbers.
got another counter argument to that. Who else was popping on top of the world at that time?
Like Roddy Ricch, Lil Baby.
And we was like, this dude is gonna be the next. He's gonna take it from Drake. He's got it for the future. The whole album. I'm a baby. No, I said he brought in the choir for. Oh my god, this guy is it.
Yo,
I mean, I don't think nobody thought he could take it from Drake.
there were some people. He was projected to be like one of the next like superstars. He was. It's just kind of crazy that the fact that the pandemic was long enough ago, like that I can look back on it and be like, that was a different era of rap music. Because at this point, yeah, around that time, like the most popular rappers was like, I mean, obviously Drake. The big three were still the big three. Future, like the main guys were still huge, but around that time, it was like you said, Roddy Ricch, Lil Baby, Pop Smoke, Dirk. Those was like the big main faces around the time as far as like the newer generation.
Polo G.
Polo G was huge. Like we can laugh about it now, but Polo G was doing like 6 figures first week, easy back then. Like he was a star.
Facts. A rap star.
That's all I'm saying. Is like
A rap star for sure. A rap
with
star for
Pop
sure.
Smoke, I don't think people should just like he
Oh.
would have been because I don't think it.
I said that as a pun.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. See, you know what I mean? You too advanced for me with the comedy, bro. I ain't even put that together. The Baby around that time.
Oh, the Baby was huge. So was the Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
They were kind of equally huge. I feel like.
No, Meg was the thing about Meg is that Meg is kind of like Young Thug, where it's like Chief Keef to an extent is like this too. Like certain rappers are they're stars, like they're huge. Like obviously they're stars, but numbers wise, they never do great numbers. Like I don't. Besides So Much Fun, I don't think Thug has ever had an album that really did great first numbers. Like Barter 6 sold like 17,000 first week. I remember that classic album now, but like Meg, I don't think she ever does more than 50,000. And I like her as a rapper. I ain't even trying to say that to be like funny. Chief Keef, same thing. Like Chief Keef never does great numbers, but he's a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like for some reason, certain rappers are stars, but they don't do great numbers.
Because at the time, like it was like the Baby had his run right where he had 3 super hits. He had the joint with Offset, Babysitter. He had Suge, and then he had the other one, the third one. I forgot what the third one was because I used to listen to that little EP all the time.
Mhm.
On the trying to get it. I can't even remember the third song. But anyways, he had three. Meg had her own run of Big Old Freak and then a couple other joints that rang off. Then it got to a point where it was like, okay, their biggest hits for 2020 was like with each other. It was like the Crybaby, and then they had a couple other, and they were all on the radio all the time.
Cash shit.
Yeah.
And then once WAP came out, WAP is low key like that was
a huge song. Yeah,
super huge, like super controversial at the time too, which is kind of crazy.
No, isn't that kind of crazy? It was a crazy song.
I didn't feel like it was anything crazier than what like Trina or whatever was doing back in the day.
But it wasn't like as mainstream. Like you have to think, Cardi B had a McDonald's meal.
Oh no, it crossed over.
Like
that's probably what
was Trina and them. They weren't McDonald's meal. And salute to Trina for sure. All right. Salute to Miami.
Trina.
But yeah.
Did Cardi B ever drop an album again?
I think so.
She doesn't have to. I wouldn't be shocked if she didn't.
I don't think she's dropping in 2025, but she's going to drop again eventually. Just because I think she already had an album worth of songs done. She probably already had 2 or 3. But just keeps having to scrap them because A, the label, and then B, because of her personal. Right now, it sounds like her personal is getting in the way of her wanting to drop music, to drop an entire album and do the whole press tour for it and stuff. So, yeah, I definitely don't think she drops it in 2025, but her kids are still young. They're like 8, 9, 10 now. I think once they get to the 12, 13, 14, hopefully the situation with Offset's a little more settled, a little more quote unquote normal, whatever that looks like for them, to the point where she can, okay, I could drop this album, go on a whole press tour for it, and do my job.
Right. Yeah,
no, it is
I can
kinda,
see that.
My bad.
No, that was it.
No, I was gonna say it is kind of insane that she has been able to have the career that she's had off of one album, like wasted one album and features. It came
on Hill, bruh.
That's a crazy comparison. That's
Cardi B the rap Lauryn Hill.
That should be the episode title. Cardi B is the new Lauryn Hill.
Right.
You gonna have somebody in Daishiki ready to murder us?
Facts, for real though.
I could tell it's getting about that time.
Yeah, one thing I want to say, man, real quick. You have mentioned Key, man. I'm watching this thing that was talking about places in Atlanta that are no longer around, and one place that they mentioned was the department store. You ever been to the department store?
Oh yeah, bro. We was in there together for Mike Will pop up.
Oh yeah, that was that. Was that?
I always heard about it.
That was at the department store.
Yeah, on Edgewood. Yeah.
There? Ah, okay. Dang, that was at the department store. Of course I remember going there, but I forgot it was at there. But yeah, the department store was by far one of the best places I ever been to in Atlanta, because upstairs was open mic, downstairs was just like a regular little like I wouldn't say just like a typical club, but like a hipster type of like thing, because they'll be in there playing Kanye like off of like College Dropout or something. You feel me? But and then the performances that you would watch upstairs with the open mic were all quality performances. And so the video I was watching, they was talking about it, and Key was the one who was curating all that, and that makes a lot of sense now, because it wasn't like you go to a lot of open mics these days. They're gonna be a lot of just random artists that you're gonna be kind of you feel me? But it was actually some really good performances that you would see being up there. And so yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to to the department store. Shout out to Key. I was how he was curating all that, but he definitely he was doing it big back then, man. Because that was a time, bro. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great music. Yeah, so I remember one night, who was it? I think Shawty Low came in. Yeah, I remember being in there. I was just like, Shawty Low here? What the heck? But yeah, man, But yeah, it was a cool little spot, man. But I just want to get that little shout out after you mentioned Key.
Bro, you have to shout out 2-9, bro. 2-9.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And like they're bro, what? Like you talking about Fonny? Excuse me. Shout out Fonny. He's got his store Closet Steel in downtown Atlanta. You talk about Gunnar Stahl, one of the more successful like hip hop photographers of his time. You talk about Reese LaFleur and his diva, kind of line of clothes and his skateboarding brand and stuff like that. And Reese LaFleur is actually the person who connected Gambino and Young Thug for This Is America. So Reese LaFleur set up the whole play for like the Grammy Song of the year, a couple years down the line. Who else we got? We got Siege and Jace. Obviously, Jace is written for rappers behind the scenes. He's written on some hit records and things of that sort. And Siege is now a longtime DJ out in LA now doing his own thing.
right.
Who else is on too now? Curtis Williams. A lot of the stuff that him having a hand in a lot of the ASAP stuff and Kanye stuff from that 2015, 2016, 2017. Snoop, Wiz Khalifa. He does some stuff with Travis Barker of the Gym Class Heroes and stuff like that. Shout out Curtis Williams for all his influence and stuff like that. And his hair is iconic in itself of that time. It had like a whole kind of genre of Black Atlanta kids wanted to have his hair like him. Key, bro. He might be like one of the most important people in music, period, bro. Of connecting stuff and the dots. Like without Key, there might be no McConan, Lil Uzi, Playboi Carti, 21 Savage, Post Malone, Doja Cat. Like this is all from Key. The whole second kind of coming of ASAP. ASAP probably falls off at the time with the Cozy tapes if it's not for Key being the glue guy of bridging the gap between Atlanta and New York on that mixtape of those Cozy tapes, volume 1 and 2. And he deserves all that credit, man. He definitely doesn't get enough credit. I know a lot of people say this stuff about Key when they mention Key, but I still don't think it's enough credit because he's not mentioned at a mainstream level at that rate. So yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, one of the most important people. I mean, when you look at just off the strength of like Post Malone and 21 Savage, like just off that alone, like you would have to say one of the most important people in music in like the last 10, 15 years, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to the Atlanta legend Key for sure, definitely contributed, and the whole 2-9, definitely. I mean, Scotty Too Hotty, I remember when that came out, like that, like rang off immediately, like locally at least. Like I remember that immediately, like caught on fire. That whole 2-9 Forever mixtape, which is not the full mixtape, not on streaming services, but that mixtape is a classic Atlanta mixtape.
For sure. And shout out to Alpha Records too, as well, with Zach Fox.
Oh, absolutely.
And Playboi Carti again. Just all the people. Faye Webster. I forgot Faye Webster was Alpha Records until Father mentioned it the other day. And yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. Abra.
I said, well, wasn't Doja Cat running with them back in the day?
Nah, she was OGG.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, same group though, same kind of people.
Like the same movement around that time.
Yeah. Rest in peace, OG Mako, who introduced Larry June and Doja Cat to the world. They didn't say anything when he died, and I guess we can end the episode with that.
That's I didn't think about that, but
They didn't put out one Instagram post, not one Instagram story, not a tweet, nothing.
yeah, I don't know if they had a falling out or whatever it was behind the scenes, but
Larry and Mako, they had a back and forth because Mako, he went on the community podcast, the one that you used to watch, Mo, Back on Fig. He went on Back on Fig and he was like, dang, hold on. I want to see Mo come back in. His phone probably died. But he was on Back on Fig and he was just saying, yeah, you know, I'm the one that put on Larry June. Larry June, he used to live in Atlanta. And I'm the one that taught him how to rap and this and that. And I showed him around the industry, introduced him to people and stuff like that. And he was just in the mall. He was trying to get like me. So then Larry June, he came in and so then he replied after that. And he was just like on his Instagram story. He said, yeah, you listened to a couple of my first songs and you helped me out at the beginning of my career of introducing me to some folks. But I did most of this by myself. You never owned me and this and that. And they had like a little back and forth like that. This was probably like a year before, you know, Mako decided to take his life. Yeah. And then Doja Cat, I believe Nardwuar brought it up in an interview one time where he's like, you used to be signed to OGG. And she said, oh gosh, I never want to talk about that time. And that was kind of like the end of that. Oh, hold on. I think Mo's back. Yeah, he's back. Hold on.
yeah,
Okay.
you don't be knowing what people be going through, honestly, especially as a woman. Who knows, bro? Like, you know.
Yeah, Mo. I was just talking about the Larry June. When OG Mako was on Back on Fig, and he said, you know, he put on Larry June and all this, and Larry June responded on his Instagram story and said, yeah, bro, like when you first met me, you listened to a couple of my first couple tracks that I ever made, and you helped introduce me to some folks around the music industry when I first started, but that was about it. All in all, like I put myself on, I worked hard, I put in the work to get to where I'm at right now. And
Right.
that was the last kind of public Larry June OG Mako exchange. And then with Doja Cat, it was a thing where she was on a Nardwuar interview and he brought up how she used to be signed to OGG and she's like, oh gosh, I never want to speak about that time again. Can we move on to the next topic? And Jelani was just saying, you never know with the woman what they were dealing with behind the scenes or stuff like that. And yeah.
No, facts. Yeah. No, that's
No,
I mean, back to what Jelani said.
No, I was just laughing. How we like, listen, we gotta provide the truth to the listeners sometimes. Like we all have lives going on outside of the podcast. You know what I mean? Things going on. So like when you listen to the podcast, we definitely do our best 100% to maintain the energy throughout like the whole 2 hours or however long. But we are human. Like sometimes I'll be real. Like we get to like that hour 40, hour 45 mark. Like the answers start to get a little bit slower, a little bit, you know. But we do our best for the people, you know, to maintain that energy. But my boy just got off a shift and Rashad is not feeling well. So neither am I, to be real.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
That pollen may kick my butt. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Man, what?
See, I didn't even know she used to look like that.
Yeah, man. Oh, Doja Cat.
She got the
Hey, man, but shout out to Doja Cat for like that whole mood thing, for that to really pop off her career the way it did. That's just still like a iconic moment that I think, you know, the marketing behind it was just amazing. I remember I was just like, who's the girl in this mood outfit throwing it? She kind of cute.
No, it was funny because like the first couple times I heard it and watched it, I was like, oh, this is hilarious. I'm just laughing. And like you said, about the third, fifth time, I'm looking like, wait, hold on. She she kind of all right. Like
no, she's a super superstar. Like she really made the most of that, bro. Like she's probably like top 10 biggest artist on the planet right now.
And that's
Right.
after self-sabotaging her career. And she's still that big of a star.
Yeah. Shout out to Doja.
She canceled herself and was like, yeah, so I did it. And then wore a white supremacist shirt. And then
Right.
posted that by itself. Doja Cat has done the most to make herself not successful after she got successful, after Say So. She was like, I hate being this famous. You guys exposed me for like who I really am. I'm going to show you so I could lose even more fans. And she's still as famous as she is. That's crazy.
Facts.
That's crazy.
Yo,
Yeah, salute to Doja Cat for sure.
real quick before we get off, I remember when Nori sent the racial chat rooms tweet. I remember I was at this girl's house. She was living with her mom. This is like during the pandemic. I shouldn't have been there. I was at her house and I was meeting her mom for the first time, and Nori tweeted that out, and I literally had to go to the bathroom. So I had to go to the bathroom just so I could laugh because that tweet had me crying that much. Shout out to Nori.
Shout out Noriega, man. Definitely like tweet Hall of Fame. What is where y'all put Doja all time female rappers?
It's hard to say because what you gonna say, Mo?
Oh, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's hard to say because it's only been like 6-7 years since she broke through on a mainstream level. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because she also is such a pop star that she's an amazing rapper. Like she could rap her ass off, but like it's hard for me to. That's a great question. If she stays on this course for like another 3 to 4 years, like you got to start having some real conversations. You know what I'm saying? Nicki is number one to me all time just because of the consistency and the level, the highs that she's hit. But Doja's on a crazy like 7-year run right now.
Yeah, I think she, in my opinion, like, I mean, it's hard to figure out exactly where she ranks at the moment, but to me, I think she's, a lot of people talk about like Meg Thee Stallion, Lotto, or people like that when it comes to like being close to Nicki. But I think Doja is, in my personal opinion, the closest to Nicki of our generation, because I think people I think a lot of times they equate these other girls to Nicki Minaj because they're busty and and they rap and stuff like that. But I think the thing is about Nicki is what really made her a star was because she also hopped in the pop lanes and she could low key sing and all that, and she had really good songs. If you go back, especially that first Pink Friday album, it's a really good album, and I think Doja is closer in that realm because she makes good. She can hop in that pop lane, she can sing, and she can rap at a high level. So I think she continues on. I think she can head towards the Nicki Minaj wave.
I say she probably about top 5 right now. If I had to go, I'd go, because I was just thinking about this when y'all were going about Nicki and stuff. I say Nicki number 1, number 2. You say Lauryn Hill, Miss Lauryn Hill. Number 3, I'll say Lil' Kim. Number 4, you go Foxy Brown, and then number 5, you could go Doja Cat.
I don't know if I could put her over MC Lyte or Missy. I definitely can't put her over Missy yet.
MC Lyte and Missy.
I can't put her over Missy at all. I'd have to have Missy in the top. Missy is my personal favorite. Missy and
UNITY.
Queen Latifah. That should be a segment we do.
I'll kick Foxy Brown out the top 5 then.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Miss Lauryn Hill, Lil' Kim, Missy. Oh, Missy Elliott.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Doja Cat not better than Missy Elliott.
No,
Not right now.
Yeah.
She just got to do it for. If she does this for another 10 years, then she can go ahead at Missy Elliott.
Yeah, she gotta. She on her way though. That's interesting. One day we'll have that like a real.
This has to be another episode.
Yeah.
But all right, fellas, appreciate it once again. Let the people know where they can find you or anything you got coming up.
Shoot. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
I know I was saying on X_Jelani, 2 underscores at the end.
But you can find me on X. I think that's Monos, ain't it? Yeah. That's Monos _. And then you can find me on IG RBMo ____. And yeah, shoot. Yeah, man, well, your boy turned 30 in 2 days. Well, shoot, 1 day now.
I literally was just about to ask you because I know your birthday was coming up. Like, when was your birthday? Or when it was coming up? Okay, for sure. Rashad,
yes.
Okay. Your birthday was in March, correct?
January.
Why did I think you? See, now I feel like a shitty friend. I know now.
I felt like it felt like my birthday was last month.
Okay. Damn, so I'm the only one here that's not 30 yet. Well, I'll be 30 in November.
Yeah, November, yeah. Yeah, and your birthday is usually on like Thanksgiving break, right?
Yeah, the 21st. So usually around that time.
You see how I remember it?
My boy.
Man, the only thing that I gotta say for real, make sure y'all check out Gap Year on all streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? Support real music. You know what I'm saying? Just real good music. And that's it. That's all I got to say, man. For real. But yeah, man. Until next time, it's another edition of the 1 a.m. podcast. Until next time, y'all take care of y'all selves.
Yes, sir.
Chicks on your APs, looking like weeds. Haven't seen.